Hey guys, Huma Corn here, and in today's video we're going to be doing best soakers in Ark 2020. Now we're going to be doing every single soaker in Ark. This doesn't include water dinos or modded dinos, but every single soaker, and there's only one I can't see right now, is that the Patchy, and it's basically the second looking Trike. I'm pretty sure you all know what I'm on about. We're not going to be using that, but we've got every single other soaker, and yeah, we're going to be testing it. We're going to be doing how much damage it does all around the body and how to soak with it, and yeah. So we have the comment of the day, which is from Alex Does Gaming, and that is, will you ever see this comment? Maybe. It is a possibility. There's a very good chance I'll see it, but there's always that slight chance I won't, so yeah. Also, if you could click that subscribe button, it means a lot to me. And yeah, let's just get straight into the video. So we're going to be doing primitive saddles first, then we'll switch over to ascendant saddles. So first of all, we're going to test the turtle against each and every turret, and yeah. So first we have the normal normal auto turret. We're going to be going up in now. So basically, if we, as you can see, it does 65 damage on the head. If we slowly turn around, it goes to 13 damage, and that is more on the neck, and that's more near the shell area. And then if we turn around now, it's kind of like, yeah, it's just more near the shell area, and most people do it near this leg here, or this leg here, and that's because it's just on the shell area. And this is, remember, this is a primitive saddle, and this is normal thing, but the only reason why this won't be good on official is because most turrets are set to only survivors, so they'll shoot the survivor right off. If they're on only tames or just players and tames, then this can be useful, but it's just more not used anymore because it's just, I don't know, it's just not really used, and that's because of this reason. If we go here, look, see, 65 damage, and then here this is 13, and then just to prove this isn't a thing, this is normal thing here. We do have infinite stats on, but it still says, yeah, the correct thing. And that's for the normal turret. Onto the heavy turret. So if we go for the heavy turret here, as you can see, this does a lot of damage, 256. But if we move to the shell area, like last time, it just drops, so that's like 51. And I think it's the same for the heavy turret. Yeah, it's just the same all around. Yeah, so 256 normal body damage, then 51 shell damage. And yeah, so this is not a bad soaker. Now obviously, like I said, most things are on players only, and that's the most reason why no one really uses this anymore. It used to be they just shoot the shell, which is amazing, and that was really OP, which is obviously why everyone used it. But yeah, onto the tech turret. So if we go here, I'm expecting some splash damage, and yeah, look at that, we just died. Straight away we just died. So that's obviously an already sign that you don't want to be using this on pretty much anything if it's against tech turrets. So as you can see, it's already still shooting. If we go here, 250 damage. Now I would turn it around, but I'll die. Actually, no, because I'm in creative mode. So if we go here, if we turn it around to like the shell or something like that, as you can see, it's doing 50 damage now. And unless it's against like a hill, like if it was shooting against this, it will do splash damage because it's hitting the hill as well. So I reckon for tech turrets, obviously, if they're only on tames like this, amazing. But if it's like players like it was, it will just shoot me. I'm gone, dead, end of it. So not a bad creature overall for soaking as a general, but since most turrets are obviously on players only, it just rules this out straight away. You don't want to be using it, and yeah. So now this is with an ascendant saddle. We're just going to go quickly through this. Oh, I need to go off GCM. Right, so basically 17 damage as a body. Last time, I can't remember what it was like 50 or something like that. And then shell damage 3. So obviously with the normal turret, it's just barely any at all. So this is with the heavy turret, 13 body damage. Oh wait, no, it's 66, and then the body damage is 13. So instantly reduced, easily just mental for soaking tames only, like I said. And then for the tech turret, I think I'm just going to do the same thing. GCM real quick, there we go. If we go here now, and we'll hop off. 64, so last time I was doing like 250, so instantly reduced. Obviously this is a max saddle, so you know, kind of makes sense, but still mental. And then if we change it, right, so continuing is doing 12 damage, so massive drop. Obviously it is an ascendant saddle, so it makes sense. But yeah, so moving on to the snow owl. So for honestly snow owls, I think this is a really underrated soaker. Not just because it's a flyer, it's just because obviously Quetzals are used to, I'm getting a bit too excited there. Quetzals are obviously used for carrying trikes or anything like that, and this is just basically a smaller version of that. So yeah, people should be using this a lot more. It's literally much better. I know it can't soak a lot of turrets at the same time, but still, it's still a soaker. And yeah, so obviously we already have 59 damage as body. It goes really weird, so basically, yeah, you want to soak like this, just at the front. So if we start to move to like the back, we can see it's basically the same thing for the normal turret. I think maybe, just because I think it's just, when people are soaking, they just like to do it like this, covers the most thing. And then obviously, if we're going to go K mode, you can just see, it's kind of shooting like the neck, kind of, or stomach, whatever. But yeah, not that good. I mean, honestly, with trikes and rock golems and basically any soaker, you know, 59 damage is a lot for a normal turret. So we're going to move on to the heavy turret. And obviously, just because it does a lot of damage doesn't mean you don't have to use this. Well, no, it doesn't mean you can't use it. It just, you know, does a lot of damage unless you don't have a ascendant saddle. So if we go on the thing, 231. So obviously it's the same all. So that is a lot. And obviously most are on only survivors, but it still works. I wonder if we go over it, I wonder if it does anything different. Nope, it does the same thing. So yeah, same thing, 231. A lot of damage, honestly. Heavy turret, so let's move on to the next one. So now the tech turret, so I think it will do splash damage again. So I'm conscious of this one, so I'll fly a bit higher this time. Okay, yep, straight away dead. So once again, splash damage onto the player. It doesn't even matter if it's not on players, still. So yeah, I don't know about tech turrets, but heavy turrets and thing is still do a lot of damage, but we'll see once we've got the ascendant saddle on. So with the ascendant saddle, it does 8 damage. So that is a massive increase. So 59 all the way to 8. So obviously with soaking, not just obviously normal turrets, but with heavy turrets as well, definitely need an ascendant saddle. Otherwise it just does way too much damage. It just does way, like 59 on a normal turret. And if we go to heavy turrets right now, mental. So we're at heavy turrets, 31, like I said, massive increase. So it's like 200 last time. Yeah, massive decrease I meant, but yeah, so 31 damage, still isn't the best, but I mean, hey, it's a snow owl, what do you expect? So obviously if it's like a normal small base, I think you can soak with this. If it's got no tech turrets, just heavy turrets, quite small, you can soak with this, easy. So yeah, this is not bad. And if we're going to the health right now, obviously we have got like maxed up, but as you can see, it's not dropping that fast. And yeah, not the best, but obviously still not the worst. So for the thingy, it's 28 damage. Obviously it does splash damage. Oh, that was like a 51 at the back. So when it's flying, I think it actually does less. So if we try that again, if we just do that, 28, then obviously, oh, it's splash damage, yeah. So like I said, when it's on the hill, it does like splash damage. So obviously 51, yeah, that'll be the splash damage, but still massive decrease. Obviously you still can't soak with it because it requires obviously players on it, and they just splash damage. And if you think, oh, okay, so if it's only on tames, what about that? So if we get off right now, it will land. There's no point. So obviously no soaking with the snow owl if it's tech turrets, but heavy and normal turrets, it's not that bad. So this is actually my favourite soaker in Ark. The reason for that, this can soak everything so good, and obviously with the primitive saddle, if you go here, 9 damage. This is primitive. If I go right here, primitive saddle, 9 damage, and obviously this is, I know it's a normal heavy turret, normal turret, but still 9 damage. And obviously loads of people do start off with these kind of turrets, so if you get a normal trike that has at least, I'd say, 5k health, you can soak that with, like, let's say a trike off the beach, you could soak with that. And the way to soak with this head, obviously you got to do it with the head. If we move on to the body right here, instant massive increase, 65 damage, and I think, yeah, it's just all around 65 damage. And then here is just 9, massive. I don't know why, I just love the trike, and if you see any of my raids, I just instantly use trikes. So now we're going to move on to the heavy turret. So the heavy turret is a 38, which is quite a lot, but obviously this is a primitive saddle, and still that is quite good. That is still good. If you're on official, maybe I'd say this requires a little more high level if you're going to use a primitive saddle, but still really good. If we go to the body, this will probably do, yeah, 256, so a lot. You got to be careful of that. And I know a lot of people do sometimes hop off, and that's the biggest mistake. Obviously, if you look up right now, 256, so you want to make sure your head is down, and obviously most of the time it will do players. If it's on players, then you might want to look up. It depends at the angle. If it's more higher up, then obviously look up. If it's more higher down like this, obviously look down. So yeah, 38 damage, 256 body damage, not that bad. Now tech turrets, this is just amazing. So it does no splash damage on the player, and as you can see, 37. This does less than the heavy turret, 37. I'm pretty sure if we go to body, it will probably splash damage me, so I'm going to try and, yeah. So that's a 250 hit, with 102 splash, I think. If we kind of move, yeah, 102 splash, and then, yeah, honestly, mental. So now we're using an Ascendant Saddle, 1 damage. I did a raid before with this on, it's just crazy. If you have an Ascendant Saddle, this can be like any trike out. It could be a level 4. It can soak really good. Like 256 health is probably level 4. If you haven't leveled health up, you can still soak. That's 200, no wait, because it does double, so that's about around 500 bullets. Around 500 bullets you can soak right there, right off the bat. That's good. That's really good. If we go to body, 9 damage, that's like head. So you could still probably soak with the body, to be fair, so it doesn't really matter, but still, obviously your head does less. Mental. So the heavy turret, 5 damage. I know, this is just like mental. So if you go on unofficial servers, sometimes they do a lot more because rates are different, like trike stats and like heavy turret damage, offline rate, everything like that will just mix it up. So it won't do this, but if it's unofficial, I'm pretty sure it will do that. Obviously 5 damage. If we go to body, 38 damage still. So really, I think honestly this is one of the most, like, I'd say not the best, but still, like, for everything that it can do, amazing. And obviously people are gonna say, you know, if it's on players, and it'll still be the same thing. Like, obviously you're not really gonna go like this in a raid, are you? So obviously when you're doing head, 5 damage, mental. Let's go to tech turrets right now. So this is a 5 damage as well. I think for tech turrets, trikes do decrease damage. Now, the other reason why this isn't the best, if you're doing an online raid, they can snipe you off, and you don't want that. So this is good. If we go to body right now, right, if I just look up, 37 damage with a 33 splash. There you go. mental. 5 damage. This is just amazing. And I think we should use trikes a lot more. I know tons of people do, but alright, so I've just died about 5 times and the trikes ran off, so yeah, unlucky mate. But yeah, we're going to be moving on to the Stego now. So the Stego does 59 damage, and if you can see here, it's like it protects the player. If it was on players right now, the player wouldn't get shot, and it's because like the scales, the scales right here, it protects it, so no matter what, it's mental. So I think the way you soak is, I'm not too sure on this one, I don't really use Stegos, so I think you just soak from the front, but it seems to be doing less damage on the back. No, it's like on the sides or something like that, so I think maybe, because it's on players, obviously it'll just do the front anyway. So 59 damage and 41 damage from the body. The heavy turret does 230. Ooh. So for the head, if we look up, it does 385. But if we look down, it does 231 in the neck. And then the body is 261. Wait, what? 161. So it's like a decrease from the head. So for the head, it does tons. So yeah. And like again, it's the scales protect you. So for the tech turret, it definitely does splash damage. But as you can see, 225 for the neck. And then if we go on ahead and do the head, 375, and obviously it will do splash damage on the player. And if you're running bases, I think the way they do it is they upgrade a bunch of speed, so they don't have to get much splash damage. And obviously Papa Bear, max armor, run it in, bang, mental. So yeah, the way you soak is just the same thing, it's just it does splash damage on the player. So for the Ascendant Saddle, 7 damage at the front, so I can already see why people use this to soak. Not that, I mean, it's not better than the Trike, because obviously people, when they're sniping, they can't shoot you as well. But if we go to a head on the body, it does 5, and then the head does straight away just 13. Now the reason why I don't really use Stegos is it's just, so when you're soaking with them, I don't know what it is about it. It's just the splash damage is from the tech turret as well. Like the Trike can do everything, all turrets, but this one is just heavy turrets and normal turrets. Yeah, so for the heavy and the Ascendant Saddle, it's 51 damage on the head, 30 damage on the neck, it looks like, and then on the body, this is very slow turning radius, so it's like, oh, the GasBag is a bit of a weird one. So when it's not blown up like this, if we go ahead and we'll just do the head first, we go here, 59 damage, and then if we go to the body, it's pretty much the same thing. So yeah, same thing. If we blow up though, as you can see, as it blows up, it does, yeah, less damage, 11, and then just to prove, turn around, and then obviously to prove that I'm not doing Ascendant, there you go, and then as you can see, the gas goes down, so you want to keep doing this. Altogether, this isn't a really bad soaker. It's just when it's on all players, I think you have to go like this. Yeah, you have to go like this. And then sometimes you get an extra saddle on the back. So yeah, decent. Not the best, but still not the worst. It's pretty good soaker, and yeah. Oh, for the heavy turret, it does 231 when it's not blown up, all around, and then if we blow it up, slowly decreases, and then eventually, so it does a lot. As you can see to the gas now, it's hardly blowing up, so you got to be careful of that. I'd recommend maybe getting at a safe distance where you can just control it like this, and then obviously you can blow up and then do that, blow up, carry on. So it's 46 damage. This is a primitive saddle, remember. And yeah, so for the tech turret, I'm not sure if it does splash damage. I'll test now. Okay, so it moves away. So without it being blown up, 230. Oh no, 225, and then a splash damage of 98, I think that was. If we blow up, 53, I think it will do less. Yeah, 45, 19 splash damage, and obviously that just drains it. You cannot, so you're gonna have to do this. So obviously for tech turrets, it's really not good. That's also another reason why I don't use the GasBag. I think I'll start using this one more actually, because with an Ascendant Saddle, this will probably not be too bad. So with an Ascendant Saddle, it does 8 damage. 8 damage, that's actually really good, so you don't even have to blow up for this one, but let's see if you do. Same with the Trike, 1 damage. So yeah, this is not bad. Not bad, honestly. Obviously, if it's all players, you're going to have to do that, but that doesn't really change anything. Still good. And yeah. To go for the heavy turret, 33 damage all around. And if we blow up, which I'll do real quick, all the way. If we go in, 6 damage. So yeah, really not that bad. It's actually pretty good. If you have multiple of these, this will be really effective as well, since it's massive. Really bloody fat. But yeah, really good. Honestly, I'll definitely start using these more. For the tech turret, as we can see, it does like 6 damage. Does it? Let me have a look. Yeah, 6 damage. And then the gas does, well, it still goes down, but still. Oh yeah, you can fill up. Okay, so this isn't as bad as I thought it was then. So I think 5 damage, yeah. So this is actually really good. I didn't even know it did that. Obviously, like I said, unofficial does tend to mess with the turret settings a lot. So it'll probably be more than this on unofficial, but official, I'd say this is really good. I think this is definitely one of the best soakers, easy. So for the Paracer theory, I thought I'd mention this now. When you're soaking, you want to put a box in, otherwise you just can't soak with it if it's on all players. So what you want to do is make it, when it drifts like that, you want to do that. Personally, I said it's a block just to feel more safe. Get a little door on so you can go in and out. Once you're obviously riding it, you can go off and on. And then you want to put the doors on, easy like this. All sides need to be covered, and then obviously a ceiling. Ceiling, I don't think you definitely need, but if you're soaking higher things, 100% on that. And then if we ride it like that, it will look like this. If we're going first person, like this, protected. So for the normal turret, if we go like this, 65 damage on the head. But what you want to do for soaking with this one is you want to go like for the back here, because it's more easier to soak stuff. And obviously it's the same, I think it's the same all around. Did I do the body? I did do the body, did I? If you do the body, same thing. And yeah, obviously if it was set on all only players right now, it will be try and shoot in the box, and that is why you want to do it from the back. So it's no, I mean, it was still trying to shoot the box, but it will still damage the thing, so it doesn't really matter. So back, obviously, and yeah. So go for the heavy turret. Now this one, the Paracer theorem I really don't use. I've used it before, but I really hardly ever use this one. And that's just because of the damage. It does such high damage. I know it isn't an Ascendant Saddle yet, but still, on unofficial and official, it does quite a lot of damage. But still good soaker. It's just I don't personally like it. But yeah, 256 damage on the body. So for tech turrets, this is a big one. You definitely want to do it from the back, otherwise it will shoot the box, damage it, and then you'll be screwed. So from the back, if we go in like this, 250 damage. So obviously on unofficial servers you get dead tanky things, and it'll be a lot better for that, and obviously C4 running and all that, and that's 102 splash damage. And yeah, so for the Ascendant Saddle, it does 9 damage, so it's a bit like the Trike. Actually no, the Trike does 1 damage on the Ascendant Saddle, done it, but like the body. So yeah, not the best, but obviously for soaking really mini bases, but you'll be not alpha, but you'll be pretty big, so you won't be really soaking these bases. But still, if you wanted to, you know, 9 damage, you know, still can do it, and yeah. So for the heavy turret, it's 37 damage. And obviously, if we walk around like this, still the same thing. So yeah, 37 damage, also not the best, not the worst. So for the real thing we're looking for is the tech turret. So if we back into it right now, I can't back into it, right. So just go around this like this. But yeah, if we go here, 37, and as a splash it's like 32. So alright unofficial, actually. It's alright unofficial. Unofficial, probably not. But yeah, I'm still not going to use this one just because of the fact that it just does really high damage. And we have got the almighty Reaper King. Now, for this doesn't have a saddle, at least that's what I know. So if we look up right here, I think, yeah, this is how you do it. You're meant to look up and then press K mode or whatever it is on your thing. Just for the sake of it, as you can see, 23 damage. And then if we spin around like this, I think that was that 28? No, it's 23. So I think it's 23 all around. Let me just get a good better angle of that. There we go. So 23 all around, and if we go for the head, if we go like, yeah, still 23. But yeah, you want to look up, so it doesn't damage the player when it's on all player. So for the heavy turret, it does 92. And yeah, so same thing applies, head up, and yeah, 92 damage. Tech turret, so this doesn't actually splash damage the player, which is really good, but still, I'm still going to put the head up just in case. So like I said, for the tech turret it does 150, so tech turret does 150 with a 24 splash. The reason why I don't use these, not the fact that it's a bad soaker, well it is, but it's just the fact that it's more of a combat dino. It's not really a soaker, and it does do a lot of damage. So yeah, I don't really use these, but still it is an alright soaker if, let's say, this is the only thing you've got. Not the worst thing, but yeah, moving on to now the Rock Golem. For the Rock Golem, the way you're meant to soak is you're meant to turn your back like this, and yeah, it just hits you, and yeah, let the magic happen. So for this, at the stomach, it definitely does an increased damage. I don't know why it's not showing up on here, probably because it's on like only tames, but if it was only survivors, it will probably shoot me off. But for the stomach, it definitely does increase, so always do the back. And then sometimes if it's got high walls, then you just want to put your head down like this, K mode or whatever it is for you, bang, see, there you go. So I think this is really good. I do use these to soak quite a bit if it's no tech turret. So for the heavy turret 23, it's not really doing that much. Stomach still is an increase, it's just, I don't know why it's not showing up. So definitely still decent, and yeah. And now if we move on to the tech turrets, we go here, bang, look at that, it melts through it. And explosives obviously melt. I don't know, please don't kill me, I'd love that, thank you. Right, 375 with a 9 splash, so pretty much no splash at all. But yeah, this melts through golems easy, and that's also why I don't use them for soaking tech turrets. But still, I mean, you know, it's good. It's really good for heavy turrets, and we'll go on to Ascendant Saddle now. So for the Ascendant Saddle, 1 damage. 1 damage for the normal thing. Yeah, you don't even need to do anything for this. You can bully smash it at this point, but obviously it doesn't do any damage. But still, still shoot the player, so always remember to keep the back and walk up slowly. For the heavy turret, it does 5 damage. So was that? No, it was like 20 last time or something like that. Yeah, so it does barely anything. It's still mental. Like, this is why I use golems a lot. But still, my opinion hasn't changed. It's still the Trike that I'm still gonna go for. The Tetra does 89 damage. Still melting through it easily, and 4 splash. Why did I say sound American then? 4 splash damage, and yeah, still okay. It's out of bullets now, but still mental. This is still not good for tech turrets, but technically you can still use it. So yeah, my opinion hasn't changed. Trikes all the way. I know this is bigger and harder to kill, but still, Trikes, I mean, they're just so OP at the moment. They'll probably nerf it sometime soon. But yeah, hope you enjoyed. If you did, like, share, subscribe. Let me know your opinions on what your favourite soaker is. Because, I don't know, loads of people have different opinions. Some favourite soaker is like the Paracer. I don't know why, but yeah. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, like, share, subscribe. See you in the next one, and peace.